Hey all, Eskie here, bringing you another Deadlock replay review. So in this replay, we're watching Viscous, specifically Vegas's Viscous. Vegas is a former PUBG pro, pretty high MMR player right now in the game. So definitely someone to learn from. So let's see how he plays Viscous. So first skill he went here is Splatter. I think that's pretty typical. That's your best harass tool. As you can see, he's punching minions when he has the opportunity. And he actually got a punch off on the Great Talon there. And they're really brawling right now. Paradox has his her kinetic carbine up. And he got a punch off there and the kill really early on there. Oh man, that was an amazing cube. Oh, parried. Oh, he dies to minions. Damn. Okay. So they both got parried there. The Haze died to the Grey Talon, but then the Grey Talon, I think, died to minions there. Or troopers, sorry. And then the first point he goes is in Splatter. That just gives you more harass in lane, obviously. And then Enduring Spirit, your early game, you have decent amount of spirit damage, especially between your punch and your Splatter. So, you know, nice to have that spirit lifesteal for the harass. So this will be kind of a mobility-based Viscous. There is definitely another popular Viscous build out there that is very fire rate heavy Viscous build. I do want to cover that one, but I have an inkling that it might get nerfed. It seems a little bit overpowered at this point. So I'm trying to highlight a different Viscous build. Hopefully, I don't think this one will get nerfed. It's pretty solid and fun to play, but the other fire rate based one seems a little bit overpowered. I think it probably will get nerfed. We'll see in the next patch though. So yeah, throwing out your Splatter there to get good harass off, especially after a few items in lane, Viscous will do a lot of harass damage. Ooh, got parried. Double punch there. Oh, parried the Grey Talon too. Damn, there's a lot of punching here. So yeah, basically just a bunch of punching and parrying there. One thing to note, if you didn't know, and you'll see him buy this, I think a lot of high MMR Viscous players do buy melee items, and the reason for that is your Puddle Punch does use melee items, so you can take advantage of that. Trolling his teammate with his cube right there. So yeah, so the skill build early on was Splatter, Punch, or sorry, Splatter, Cube, and then Punch. If you saw him get that really good cube off earlier to save himself. And yeah, so the first melee item came out with melee lifesteal. He also got an extra health just to be a bit tankier in lane. And then he's grabbing some monster rounds too, just to make it an easier lane. So we should talk about this lane. So he's up against a Grey Talon and a Paradox, which is a very range heavy, harass heavy lane. Ooh, another great parry there. And yep, that gets the Paradox kill. Parrying is really like underrated part of this game right now. I think if you watch high MMR games, they are getting much better at parrying, and I think as the general player base gets better, you'll see a lot more parrying as well. Obviously, parrying is really good against people like Abrams, but it's just a good thing to do in general when you're up close to someone, because the higher you get in MMR, the more likely they are to start trying to punch you. Because punching does do a lot of damage overall, especially in the early game. And yeah, so I think a good combo you just saw there, and something to keep in mind, we're going to talk about their opposing lane 2 combos, but the Haze hit a Sleep Dagger there, and so saving your skills sometimes for Haze trying to hit a Sleep Dagger so you can get almost a guaranteed splatter off, very useful. So he did get his ultimate Goo Ball, and that is where he put his second point that he used there for that extra duration. So Hayes got another Sleep Dagger off. They weren't able to take advantage of that, though. And yeah, some other items he got here. Spirit Strike, another melee. Mystic Burst, nice early game item for spirit damage. And then extra charge for the puddle punch, getting that extra charge on him. He is ulting here with Goo Ball. Damn, that did a lot of damage to that Paradox. Surely he gets the kill here. This is such a hilarious hero to watch. He can't get down there, I guess. So Hayes just got punched there. Ooh. I don't know if he meant to fake out that Paradox. If you saw the Paradox parried there, I think he did mean to punch him there, but the range on his punch didn't go far enough, but that actually worked in his favor because he would have gotten parried there. And yeah, so 2 more points here in Goo Ball. So this is kind of what I mean by mobility is there's going to be a bunch of mobility items bought here, but obviously your Goo Ball is another good mobility option that you have on Viscous. Does he get trapped? He does get trapped out of that. Interesting. So I don't know if you saw that. So he cubed him. So much parrying. Holy shit. Ooh, yeah, she's dead to the Great Talon out there. Surely, maybe he can get the kill. He did get a parry off. I think he's dead here, though. Man, this lane is just full on parry. So yeah, like I said, if you've noticed, the puddle punch there does proc the melee items that he has. So that is one of the reasons you go melee items on Viscous, is to be able to use that with your puddle punch. And so his lane, it's very interesting, if I'm honest. Great Talon and Paradox are playing pretty aggressive, especially when it comes to the range that they're playing at. You would really expect a Great Talon and a Paradox lane to play very back. You know, let Paradox hit a kinetic carbine, then Great Talon can do some harass. But there's been a lot of meleeing going on, which is very, very interesting. Okay, surely the Paradox is dead there. So that's a good Goo Ball by him. Getting a bunch of damage on the Paradox there. And you're pretty tanky in Goo Ball, so you can do dives like this pretty easily. And yeah, surely the Great Talon's dead. Yeah, he is. So that was a good dive there. Great use of the Goo Ball ultimate. And then another here, duration extender. So you're going, you know, Goo Ball, and you want to be in Goo Ball as long as possible because, as you can see, gives you spirit resist, gives you bullet resist, does a lot of damage. So having that duration extender is going to extend a lot of your abilities, but especially Goo Ball. So he missed his second puddle punch there. Surely they should get the kill on this Shiv here. Yeah, there we go. So rotating over there. So if you saw, he got the kill on the tower, or the Guardian, sorry. He got the kill on the Guardian. And then he rotated over to the lane next to him. Went for a gank there, got the kill. Did get swapped there. I don't think the swap did any damage, though. I think he got swapped inside of Cube. They both parried. Another kill on the Paradox there. So they've been winning pretty heavily on this side of the map. As you can see, he's basically a full 1,000 souls up on his lane opponents right now. Damn, dude. And yeah, just get another kill there. So what is he at? He's at 417. A lot of kills here in the early game. So now, really transitioning to the mid game here. A lot of the Guardians have fallen at this point. It looks like they still have a Guardian right here and a Guardian right here, so they still have their 2 mid Guardians. And then Vegas' team has their 2 mid Guardians as well, I believe. So no one's unlocked their flex slot yet, but once you have 1 to 2 Guardians falling, and especially once you get to 10 minutes, you've pretty much hit mid game. So what that means is you're going to be rotating around the map, farming jungle, looking for ganks. Obviously, he rotated pretty early there because he got an early kill on the Guardian. And because of that early kill on the Guardian, he was able to rotate to his side lane and get some value there by killing the Shiv. And maybe we'll get another Shiv kill here. Why? Shiv ulted him? Very interesting. Maybe he meant to dodge the Goo Ball? I don't know that he did, though. Oh, he's so close to dead. Yeah, there he goes. By the way, if you guys are liking the content, please like, subscribe with those notifications on. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, so let's look at some more items he's gotten here. Melee charge, obviously more melee because of your puddle punch. Restorative shot, just for some sustain there. I'm actually surprised he's bought in so many tier 1 items. It's very interesting. Usually I see people buy probably 4 to 5 tier 1 items, and then at that point, you know, you're going up to tier 2. So Yamato ults there. He's pretty much dead here. Yeah. And then Berserker as well. Berserker is just a great item on tanks like Viscous. You know, you're taking a lot of damage, so you're going to be able to stack that weapon damage. And then the next item he's gotten here is Return Fire. So let's look at their team. So they have a Wraith. They have a Grey Talon who could go weapon damage. Not necessarily, but he does have some weapon damage. Paradox is usually weapon damage as well. So some good candidates to use that Return Fire on. So yeah, just farming around the map here. Let's take a look at the map. They're actually pretty heavily the enemy team over here. They haven't picked up Solar, and yet, wow, what is that Yamato doing? He missed the puddle punch, going for the goo ball. Does Yamato have ult? She does have ult. She actually just got ult. Wow. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do, but for those of you who don't, so these little icons right here, the white icons at the top, tells you who has ultimate. So Yamato just got her ultimate back as she died there. So that could have been a bit of a bad situation. But he does get the kill on Yamato there. So good rotations all around. And yeah, so you can kind of see what he's been doing. He's not going over to team fight with them on the left side of the map. He's been farming jungle. He's been rotating, looking for ganks, making sure the lanes are pushed, making sure he farms the lanes. And if you look right now, he is pretty far ahead of everyone except really the Wraith here. So he's sitting at 14k. He's still 2k above the Wraith. So that's really what you should be doing in mid game. Is you don't necessarily have to pick a side of the map, but you don't have to rotate over to every team fight. You don't have to follow your team around. Keeping lanes pushed, farming the jungle, taking objectives when you have the opportunity. Like if he sees all of these people on the map right here, which he probably sees at least 4 of them, and he sees Shiv right there, pushing this walker is a good option for him to do because so many people are on the left side of the map at this point. He really only has to contest with Shiv. And if you look, he's at 15k, Shiv's at 11k. He has a 4k advantage. That's one 3k item, maybe a 1250 item, depending on how much money it is. So those are options that he can take. Obviously, he's just taken the option of running the urn and goo ball, which it seems like he's just going to get it. And Viscous is a great urn runner because of goo ball, similar to Ivy with her ultimate. There's just certain characters in the game that are really, really good at running. So let's see what he's done. He's gone all 5 in goo ball. Like I said, kind of mobility-based Viscous build. And then he's gotten the second one in splatter as well. He is sitting on 5, so I imagine he's going the 3rd in splatter at this point. And then he's also added a Torment Pulse. You know, obviously a pretty good item on characters that are tanky, like a Mu and Krill, maybe even a Yamato, and then a Viscous, of course, because Viscous is more of a tank, going to be in the front line around the enemy team doing spirit damage. And yeah, so he went number 5 in splatter, or tier 5 in splatter. And now here comes his big item, which is Phantom Strike. So this is, I would say, pretty typical on a lot of tanks at this point, especially Mountain Krill, Abrams. And I think Viscous makes really good use of it as well, being able to instantly jump onto a carry and then apply a lot of damage while they're disabled. Just really invaluable to have. So he just used it right there. Damn. So he goo balled her twice, and then he came out and punched to get the kill. It looks like he's going to get away as well. And some chatting going on. It's a big team fight going on here. He just Shadow Strike the Lash. Damn. A lot of meleeing in this game. So that was a big team fight win for them. Surely they can get mid-boss off this. So they have 3 dead. Yamato is not happy. I think this could be a good mid-boss opportunity. It looks like they're not going to go for it, though. They have 3 dead, and the 3 up really cannot contest mid-boss that well. Let's see what he does here. Oh, missed the punch. Damn. Good kills, though. So yeah, they decided not to get mid-boss, but I think they really could have gone for it there. People that can contest mid-boss well, or characters that can contest mid-boss well, people like Dynamo with his Black Hole, and Furnace with his ultimate, which I don't know the name of. And any characters like that with some AoE stuns that are going to be able to go down into the pit and stun everyone as the Rejuvenator's falling down so that you can steal it and punch it. And so next 2 points in the skill build, he's going Puddle Punch right here, so he got the extra charge and then the damage and the movement slow as well. And then some more items here that he's gone. Improved Burst, just giving you that extra spirit damage. And then improved cooldown, obviously giving you less cooldown. So once again, I've emphasized this in my earlier videos, and I want to continue to emphasize it, and you'll probably think I'm a broken record at this point, but you always want to be checking the game state. And so if you see he's really forcing a fight here because he's at 24k, no one else is close to his souls right now, although he's not getting any help from his team, so it looks like he's probably going to die here. He does get the kill on Paradox there. He's probably so tanky at this point too. So the enemy team was pushing this lane right here, and he forced the fight there. And one of the big reasons he's forcing the fight, you look at the soul count, he's at 24k. The only one that's even close to him, really, not on his team, is Wraith. And she is, you know, so far away from him on souls, so he wants to be fighting here. You want to use your advantage. You don't want to just be passively farming the whole game. You want to get that farm, get some key items, and then be fighting and taking objectives. Or preventing them from taking objectives. That's why he came, defended the Walker here, prevented the Yamato from taking it, and got a kill on her. And yeah, so he just went improved cooldown, and he put it on his goo ball, just so he can have goo ball more often. Mobility build, you want to be mobile. You want to be able to goo ball as often as possible. And so, yeah, we're probably about to transition more into the late game here. So they're actually only 9k ahead right now. And that's actually, if you look at it on the map, not a bad thing, because they've lost all of their walkers but one. And the enemy team still has all of their walkers up. So if they start taking walkers, they're probably going to start snowballing their lead, which is what they really need to be doing at this point. But they just don't really have any map presence at right now. The one thing they are definitely hurting for is flex slots. And that can be something that doesn't really show up on the scoreboard, but can give the enemy team enough of an advantage. So they have 3 flex slots right now. No one's really filled them, though, so they're not really using their advantage yet. But as they keep accumulating souls, they're going to start filling out those slots. And that advantage is going to grow. So even though this team has the soul advantage right now, they're still struggling for slots. So yeah, so he went 2 in Puddle Punch here, and now he's gone 2 in Cube as well to get that cooldown reduction. Just farming around the map here. He's still really far ahead, so he probably wants to force a fight here at some point. It does look like the Infernus got caught out. But based on the minimap, he probably sees the Yamato at least, so knows that there might only be down 1 player over here. So he just Shadow Striked the Grey Talon there in his goo ball, if you saw that, and did a lot of damage. So that's really the combo that you're using here with this build is you're phantom striking inside your goo ball so that you can instantly get a lot of damage on a carry. Ooh, he got parried there. Man, Shiv's 2 just does so much damage when he's full rage like that. Got the kill on the lash too. Yeah, Shiv's 2 just deals so much damage. He's gonna die to this Shiv surely. He does pop his return fire. Oh wow, he survived. Crazy. Really well played there. He did get superior duration as well, and I imagine that is on his goo ball. There's no other imbued abilities, so yes, he did put that on his goo ball as well. So he's can obviously stay in goo ball longer. So yeah, those hallway fights, especially against a Shiv, can be so dangerous. I think you really saw it there, especially when Shiv's at full rage and he has the echo on his 2. It really becomes a lot of damage when everyone's focused down that hallway. So that was pretty dangerous there. They did get the kill on the Shiv though. And his team is, looks like they're fighting up here. They're doing something up here. I guess they were trying to take the walker, but thankfully none of them died. The one, I would say, slight disadvantage his team has is if you look at the average souls, his team is a bit behind when it comes to average souls. A lot of the farm is concentrated on him. So he really needs to be at these fights because he has all of the farm, he's going to be the one dealing the damage. He's going to be the one trying to carry. So he wants to be around his team trying to fight. It does look like the Haze gets caught out though. So just goo ball, shadow strike the Yamato. Surely Yamato's just going to ult here though. Oh, she doesn't have her ult. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Some of these Viscous voice lines are hilarious. Oh man, this Yamato is not too happy about the Shadow Strike Goo Ball combo. And yeah, so one more item here, Warp Stone. So you're going to start seeing him getting even more mobility items now. Warp Stone obviously had Shadow Strike already. Goo Ball is basically Viscous's mobility skill. And I have already watched this replay. I do watch the replays before I do them just to, like, you know, do some quality checks, make sure they're not, you know, shit replays. And one of the buys here in a little bit is going to be hilarious. So once again, he's back at Fountain and his team's fighting. I really think he needs to be out there with them. I'm not really sure what he's doing, just sitting here. His team does have the player advantage here. You can see Yamato and Shiv are not there yet. But all of the farm is largely on him, so he really needs to be in these fights. And I think it's a mistake at that point to be in shop. It's going for the Lash here. They do get the kill on Yamato and the kill on Lash. That had to have been a big Hazel right there. Does he have Shadow Strike up? He doesn't. He's about to have Shadow Strike up. Surely this race dead. So that's why he has Return Fire right there. I think you could kind of hear it. I don't know how much I have the sound of the game on, but he popped Return Fire there on that Wraith. That's obviously one of the best candidates for using Return Fire against this enemy team. So they got a big team fight win there. Thankfully, his team didn't die before he got there. Then they got a lot of kills, him and the Haze. So this is a pretty easy mid-boss for them. Obviously, they have 4 dead. Shiv and Paradox can't really contest. I think Paradox could wall, but there's really not anything that they can do at this point. So pretty free mid-boss for them right there. And a few more items here. So debuff reducer, you know, they have stuff like Shiv's knives and his bleed. So good candidate for debuff reducer there. And then pristine album, just a really good item overall. Honestly, mostly for spirit builds, I would say, but it still gives you a lot of weapon damage too. So it's a pretty great hybrid item. So this is one thing I would say I don't like to see, and they're going to try to catch this Yamato out. Yamato does ult here. Is if you look, their whole team is very scattered at this point. They have the Souls lead. They have Rejuvenator. They really need to be, in my opinion, they need to be grouping up and pushing. They only have one walker down. They obviously want their next flex slot. They've been hurting for that all game. So in my opinion, you really got to group and push. Obviously, at least these two walkers, and probably at least you can leave Infernus there and do a 5-1 split where Infernus is solo pushing one walker and you guys are pushing the left side of the map where it has two walkers, so you can get the furthest walker and then rotate to the closest one, so you can get basically two walkers with your Rejuvenator there. But I don't know that farming the jungle here is necessarily the best choice. I don't think. I think you really need to be using this Rejuvenator to push their base and fight. Yeah, I mean, I think this positioning is not that good right now. Obviously, you have this lane pushed up. You could easily push this yourself. You're sitting at 40k here, which is 8k more than their most farmed, which would be Shiv. So I think pushing that lane would have been a great option. Although he is farming for something, obviously. I think he definitely wants the 6,200 mark. And man, I hate it when you're sitting at 6,100, 6,150, and you just need like a few more souls to get that item. So he is going to come over here and fight. I think this is the right call, right? Like, you guys have Rejuvenator and you have not been pushing walkers at all. I think that's just such a huge mistake. Going for Wraith, he popped his Shadow Strike and his Return Fire there to get into her. That was a pretty big, surely big Hazel right there. Got 2 kills. So he's rotating back with his team here. They do have the advantage by... Actually, they don't have the advantage because Pocket and Infernus have left for some reason. I guess Pocket's low. I don't know what Infernus is doing, if I'm honest. And so that was a winning team fight, really. If Infernus had showed up, to me, that's a winning team fight. So I think that's a bit of a misplay there. And it looks like he might die here. And he doesn't have Rejuvenator anymore, so that really sucks. Yeah, so that was just not a useful Rejuvenator at all, in my opinion. Here, we'll look at his teammate. Yamato's still talking shit. So it looks like they do manage to get a kill out of that. The enemy team just backed off there. Obviously, there's really nothing for them to push at this point but base Guardians. And it's really, really hard to push base Guardians if you don't have some type of player advantage or Rejuvenator. So you really, really want to have those type of things to push base Guardians. The enemy team doesn't, and they backed off. I think that's a smart decision. And yeah, so there's his next buy, Magic Carpet. So now I think the memes really start. Basically, Goo Ball and Magic Carpet is hilarious and amazing at the same time. So I'm really looking forward to watching this combo. So going in Goo Ball here, he just popped Magic Carpet. You can't really see the Magic Carpet because the ball is so big, but he is on Magic Carpet right now. You can see because of the bar. And he's targeting this Yamato specifically. Hilarious, man. This is the kind of like fun build that I love to see in this game. I think a lot of the characters have build diversity, at least to the point where you can build them either gun or spirit, but having these type of builds is just hilarious and makes the game just that much better. And Magic Carpet's cooldown is like ridiculously short. It's really crazy. So yeah, so he has a ton of mobility options here. Phantom Strike so he can immediately jump on a carry. Warp Stone so that he can stick on them. And then obviously Magic Carpet so that he can get in and out of fights. Although Lash does ult him there in his Magic Carpet, so he's kind of screwed here. I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. They do get a big Wraith ult off, or a Haze ult off on them though. They are down. I think this is probably a losing team fight at this point. Yeah, I think Hayes is just gonna bail. Gotta get that bag though. I hope my pronunciation of Viscous has been a lot better this video. I was tempted to say goo ball or goo guy for the whole time, but I literally went on Google and I hit that little button by the word that pronounces it for you, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get this down before I do this video. Here, we'll speed it up since there's nothing going on. And yeah, so this is pretty much the build at this point. You know, you have a bunch of mobility options. You're able to jump on a carry immediately, and you're just extremely mobile around the map.
Let's push yellow.
So the enemy team has taken the lead here, and his Souls lead has basically been, it's gone at this point. So, oh wow. So Shiv just got Soul Rebirth. Pocket has Soul Rebirth as well. And yeah, a fed Shiv it can be very, very dangerous, and he is going knife build here. So I think that Rejuvenator, the lack of use of that Rejuvenator was really, really big in this game, and they just jumped Yamato teabagged him. We'll watch the haze here. And yeah, so the pivotal point in this game for me right now has been that Rejuvenator. They got the Rejuvenator, but they did nothing with it. They just farmed their jungle. They stayed on their side of the map. You know, it was just, you're not using the Rejuvenator for anything. The point of Rejuvenator is that you're able to take more risks as a team and push into the enemy base, take those base guardians, try to get a shrine. And so now the enemy team's been able to push in. They do have a shrine at this point. Big Dynamo ult there and Haze ult. Wow, that was a great combo right there. He's still dead, so we're going to stick on this Haze. And his team should be able to clean up here. Ooh, that was a... that was a bold swap by that Paradox right there. Low health swapping into the enemy base. Okay, so he's back up. So did he buy anything? So he has a bullet armor now and a mystic vulnerability. Not too many interesting buys, but, you know, just some extra damage and tankiness right there. Surely going to get this last kill. Yeah, he just Phantom Striked him. This build is just so crazy, man. This is hilarious. Okay, so they were able to turn that around. The enemy team went into their base, did get a shrine down. Is that 2 shrines down? It looks like they got 2 shrines down. That Haze Dynamo ult combo there was really, really good, though. That really turned the tide of the fight there. And then now they're able to get another mid-boss. So now, really what you want to do with this mid-boss, they still have 2 walkers up, and it's 34 minutes into this game, 35 minutes into this game. So it's just crazy. So surely they have to group up as a team, push these walkers, get them down. They're hurting for slots right now. I think the enemy team has all of their slots. And yeah, you can see all of them are filling out their slots at this point. So they're really taking advantage of that. And that's what I mean. Once you start catching up in souls, if you're lacking the slots, then that can start to hurt you in these fights because you're not going to be at the same power level as the enemy team. Just, oh, hilarious. I love it. What a hilarious build. Oh, he's going for the movement buff over here. Makes sense. And yeah, I mean, pushing this lane I think is fine, but once again, they're just so distributed all over the map. They're not pushing. The enemy team is all rotating for him, which makes sense. I mean, him or the Haze are basically their main target at this point. And they're just farming with Rejuvenator. Like, this just makes no sense to me. So he is getting rotated on here. He got Magic Carpet off. He's going to try to teleport, it looks like. He popped his Return Fire. He did get the teleport off, so it looks like he might get out of here. So now his team is grouped, and you definitely want to push this walker, surely. How did damn. So Shiv did get the kill on the Pocket there. Oh, Pocket had Soul Rebirth. I was like, why is Pocket alive? He does have Soul Rebirth, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. He's just camping this teleporter here, assuming they're going to come through. This Paradox is really deep in here. Surely the Paradox is dead too. Oh, damn. Mo and Krill is dead. Okay, so there's the Paradox kill. His team is backing off because Wraith is backdooring right now. If you see down here, his team is backed off at this point, so it's just him. I don't know. I don't really feel like they needed to send everyone back there. I don't know that I agree with that. I mean, sure, you get the Wraith kill, but you really got to push into this base here and at least get one more flex slot, right? Like, you got to kill the last walker to get this flex slot. And then, you know, probably get a shrine too, right? You've been sitting on 2 flex slots here for a very long time, and they're just once again farming. Like, I don't know that I don't agree with these plays. I think this is not going well. And they all still have Rejuvenator, excluding Viscous and Mo and Krill. So you can still push as a team and take risks here. And some of them are, actually. But they're just not grouped up right now, which is the issue. So yeah, Pocket just died there. Died with Rejuvenator, though. And the Rejuvenator is gone. And then Infernus dies. That's not good at all. So yeah, just really not using these Rejuvenators effectively. I really feel like they could have been in the enemy base and gotten at least 2 shrines at this point if they just all grouped up and played together. Damn, he's getting destroyed. So the last 2 bites he's gotten here are just improved bullet armor and improved spirit armor. Yeah, he's just going to die to the Yamato. And wow, that might be game, actually. So they had a Souls lead for a long time. They had 2 Rejuvenators. And it looks like they're probably going to lose this game. Usually I don't do losses, but I thought this build was just good enough to do this game. So GG, I think the Rejuvenators could have been used better there, and they probably could have won this game. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Please, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, throw that like, and make sure you leave a comment as well. Help me with that YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for all the feedback, all the support you've given me. I really appreciate it. It really convinces me that I need to keep making more content. So I'm glad you guys have been liking that. I appreciate all the supportive comments. Thank you guys. I hope I got my Viscous pronunciation right this time, and I will see you in the next one.